If you haven't seen any of my videos before, my name is Jason Lawrence. I'm a home builder, real estate agent, and I sell all of our new construction for our home building company. So I meet with clients, sit down with them, figure out what they want to build, put the pricing together, help them put their blueprints together, and bring everything all the way to the point of having the hole dug, and then it's taken over from there. And so I'm going to be doing some videos specifically for new construction salespeople, and I've been doing this for 10 years now, and I've got a lot of different things that I'd like to just share with you, and here we go. Today is Sunday. We are approaching mid-February, in mid-February. Got a couple meetings this morning. New person, and also another new person being brought in by a realtor. I had two meetings that canceled, but I was able to fill them in with two new ones, so definitely going to get some good meeting time in today. Probably won't have time to do an open house today because I've got the meetings back to back. I feel like I am completely caught up, at least for today, on anybody that I'm working with and information that they need, phone calls that I needed to return, and emails that I needed to return. Now that can all change in the matter of a day. So tomorrow being Monday, the end of the day, come Tuesday morning, I could be feeling completely buried again because I've got a ton of emails to get back to. There could be some other problems that come up, and that's just all part of the new construction sales world, real estate sales world, and that's what I do. I do new construction sales, so figure out what type of home they want to build, what the pricing for that home is going to look like, and then if they're good with that, we can kind of move forward to the next step. The point of these initial meetings here to see if we can move on to the next step, and then the real estate part of it is, both of these, or one of these people for sure that I'm going to be meeting with, they are interested in a particular lot that I have listed. Or, say I didn't have the lot listed, they are still interested in that lot, and I would be the one to help them purchase it. I'd write up the offer. We would put contingencies in the offer if there were things that we needed to investigate to make sure that, the house fits on the lot, there's sewer and water at the lot, gas and electric, so on and so forth. So that's what I got going on this morning. I got some plan notes here from my last meeting on Thursday that I'm going to get into the system, get sent over to our draftsman, and keep things rocking and rolling here. My first meeting, I went back and looked at some of the email correspondence that we've had, and they are interested in two-story homes. So I'm going to pull some two-story floor plans. I'll have the pricing kind of ready for them. This just avoids, this makes the process smoother. If you know what type of home that your potential client's looking for, you can put some preliminary pricing together, have some floor plans ready so that it's not just a meeting, you're gathering all of the information, and then you need to get back to them with that. You can actually get them some ballpark pricing and some floor plan ideas in this same meeting. This bypasses a whole nother step or a whole nother meeting. So if you are going to move forward with them and they're going to move forward with you building a house, it's a time saver. My meeting this morning, the first one is at 10 o'clock. Always get in early. At least give yourself a half hour to get settled in and get those floor plans ready, get some preliminary planning ready, get all the lights turned on in the house, get everything ready in the spot that you're going to meet. There's nothing worse than you showing up at the same time that the client does, and they're going to look at you as being unprepared. So it's nice that you're already here, you're settled in, you've got information for them, you're ready to get the meeting kicked off. I'm actually working on writing a handbook for a future salesperson. So at some point, the company that I work for is owned by my dad, and then Jim is the other owner. Now I've been here since the beginning, since everything started, so I'm technically not an owner. We do have a real estate company as well. I am an owner of that. But as for the home building company, this is something that in the not too distant future, I'm going to be either owner or part owner of, depending on what Jim has a daughter and a son-in-law, and depending on what they want to do, if they want to come into the business, we would be partners. If not, then maybe my brother would want to come in. There's some unknowns there, but either way, I've been in this this industry and with this company, and so I kind of need to know what is going to need to happen in order to keep the company successful when they both decide that they want to step out. And I know my dad is kind of doing a little bit of this right now too, putting together what he does and kind of the process for everything, so that if we did need to hire somebody, if I needed to hire somebody to do what he does, there's a pretty detailed description there. And sales isn't something that I want to do forever. I do love it, but at the same time, that's something that I will actually have somebody doing full time, is all of the sales. So I need to put together a detailed step-by-step process of everything that needs to happen. These videos are going to be part of that. So the client that I'm meeting with mentioned that they want to build a 2-story home. That's what I saw from the emails there. They wanted to see the 2-story floor plan. So I'm going to be meeting with them. We're going to meet here at the kitchen table, and I got all of the 2-story floor plans that we have pulled, and I've got a price list next to me. Now I know the prices just because I've been doing this for a really long time, but if you're new, have all the floor plans ready to go so you can share them with them. Make copies, one for husband, one for wife, one for yourself. That way when they pick out one of these plans and they like it, if there's any notes that you need to make on the, say they want the house to be 1,000 square feet bigger, that's quite a big adjustment there, or they want the great room to be a foot deeper or a foot wider, you can make these notes right on the home flyer, and then when it comes time for you to proceed into the step of the process where you're getting a preliminary plan drawn for them, you can then take the notes from the home flyer from your meeting, and you can send them to the draftsman. This is one of those little sales things that stuck with me from a book that I read way back when, but when you're meeting with somebody, make sure that they are not make sure they're not looking out the window, that the window's not in front of them. I mean, if they're interested in what they're doing here, they shouldn't be gazing out the window, but if they're not, I mean, this is like, when things are really bad and you just got a meeting set up, even though they hardly wanted to meet, and you were going to try and do everything in your power to get the sale. Don't put them across from a window and give them a chance to look and gaze out the window. And then have them sit next to each other. So kind of predetermine the placement on where everybody's going to sit. I'm going to sit here, and then somebody's going to sit here and here. So husband and wife can sit here, here and here, and then I can sit over here. So kind of have the seating assigned already. I remember when I was new to sales, I didn't do that, and we'd all kind of sit down somewhere where we were going to meet, and it's kind of awkward because it's like the husband and the wife, they don't always just automatically sit down next to each other. You don't want to be sitting next to the wife or next to the husband. You want to be talking to both of them so that you can make eye contact with both of them, and you can show them, whatever you're showing the husband, the wife sees the exact same thing. So just a little bit of a tip there. Make sure you've got predetermined seating, and make sure you've got any, paperwork, flyers that you're putting out already ready to go. Another thing to add to that, the flyers, the home flyers are okay to give them, but just give them one at a time. Don't just lay a big stack in front of where they're going to sit, and then while you're talking to them, they're kind of rifling through everything. They're not going to be paying attention to what you're saying. And that goes for pricing too. If you put pricing together for somebody, for that initial meeting, don't just set that where they're going to sit and then sit down and start talking, because they're going to see that in front of them. They're going to start flipping through the pages, and they're not going to be listening to what you're saying. Sales is all about hustle. The faster that you can get things done, the more sales that you're going to get. Now, you don't want to rush things and miss things and make mistakes, but the faster that you get pricing to somebody, the faster you get blueprints back to somebody, the quicker that their hole is going to be in the ground, and the quicker that you can move on to the next couple that you're going to be working with. In new home sales, you are going to be working with multiple people. So it's not just going to be one at a time, and it's easier to keep up than it is to catch up. So just got an email from somebody, and I was kind of telling them, they were asking about a lot and if a certain home would fit on the lot. And I told them that it would, but we'd have to do a little bit of reconfiguring with the garage, and they may not like how that's going to turn out. Well, it's one thing for me to say that through email, and then for a client to try and visualize what I'm talking about is another thing. So he asked if I could just kind of put a rough sketch together showing what that's going to look like. So rather than just saying, okay, yep, that's something I got to do, write that down on my to-do list and I'll make sure and take care of that tomorrow morning. If you got a couple of minutes, do it now. Get it sent over. You're keeping up rather than catching up. And you do still need to time block. You know, I'm not saying that it's kind of a double-edged sword there, because that doesn't mean that you answer every phone call every minute of the day, or that you respond back to every single email instantly. You really do need to set apart time in the day, you know, whether it's once a day, twice a day, 3 times a day, to designate towards returning phone calls. Same thing with emails. But you cannot write down a list of things that you have to do and then break away from that list every time you get a phone call or an email. And not everybody's going to like to hear that, and not everybody believes that that is the way to get things done, but I know that I can get a lot more work done if I do it that way, as opposed to just putting out every single little fire as it comes in. And now there are some things, if it's a fire where there's a problem and you're getting a phone call and somebody needs to know something right away, of course you break away and you get that taken care of. But most of the time, these are not emergencies. So I'll return phone calls. I mean, ideally, my day would look like this. From 9 to 11 o'clock, I will return phone calls, make phone calls, return emails, write emails. For the rest of the day, I have my tasks in which I need to get done. And these are important things to ensure that I'm getting more sales and that people that I'm working with are moving towards the finish line, which is getting their hole dug. So I need to be putting pricing together, working on plan changes, getting those things to the draftsman, getting survey drawings out to the surveyor, things like that to keep things moving along. I can't be breaking away from that every time I get an email or a phone call. So anything that I get email or phone call wise after 11 a.m., ideally would be something that I would then return the next morning, unless it's an emergency. So I referred to somebody that wanted me to send them over a drawing of a house, and I'm going to kind of just show you the basics of how to do that. These items right here are your best friends. Number 1, whiteout, and not the brush on kind. The kind that you can remove. You're working with somebody, they want to bump out a wall, they want to make a garage bigger. You can white out lines to redraw things. It's all about helping the client visualize. So when you meet with somebody and they say they want to do this, that, or the other, they want to see how that's going to look, how that's going to feel. So all you can really do at the time, you know, short of having your draftsman draw up a whole blueprint, is help them to visualize. You can take, maybe there was a plan that you were working off of. So you can take that plan, and they wanted to bump out the back great room wall and add some windows. They wanted to make a 4-car garage. Anything that they wanted to do, you can pretty much take, white out certain things on, redraw it in, send it to them, and then help them visualize it. So now by marking up the plan the way that I did, it acts as twofold. So I can show the client, you know, give him more of a visualization as to what a side entry garage is going to look like, as opposed to how it was before. And then if we do move forward into the process where we're going to have blueprints drawn, my draftsman's going to need to know how to draw that garage. I've already got a drawing there for him that I can send over to him. So I'll save these notes in this potential in this potential customer's file. So any pricing that I've sent to him, any plan notes, anything like that, I make a file for him. I save it into there. That way I've got all of that information moving forward. All right, that's going to do it. Thanks for joining me. I'm going to keep on sharing this information about new home construction sales and some of the different techniques and strategies, skills that you may want to use when you're selling new homes. Please share this with somebody who is a new home salesperson or thinking about getting into it. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe. Thank you very much. Have a great rest of the day.